Hello, my friends. I recently went to an event where the theme throughout the entire weekend, extended weekend, was stronger every day. And the year before that, it was never give up. And I'm like, the two of those go hand in hand. If you never give up on getting stronger every day, well, look at it like this. A little bit of something everybody can do. And that's the beauty of a little bit of something digestible. A little bit of getting stronger every day or getting better. If you were to improve and get just 1/3 of 1% stronger on a daily basis, can you get 1/3 of 1% stronger a day consistently every day in a row? Well, after just 1 year of that, you would be more than 300% stronger, 300% better in 1 year than you are today. That's pretty sweet. But the 98 percentile out there isn't going to do it because they want the big leaps and bounds, which is, for most things, almost completely unattainable to do overnight. But those little bits every day, good God, that adds up. Actually, it does better. It multiplies eventually. It like exponentially grows. But only the 2 percentile will actually be consistent enough. They actually have the vision to see what just little digestible things can do repeated over a period of time. We'll call it, we suffer from instant gratification syndrome. I want what I want, and I want it now, and I will pay more to have it now. And we pay for it with our lives and the quality of what's left of our lives. That's the 98 percentile. The 2 percentile knows that about the 98 percentile. So we don't want to be the 98 percentile. Because what it means to be average, the 98%, is you're broke, you're fat, you're sick. You're not even on the search for answers to be in that, except at your core, you're a fucking genius. But the 98 percentile is too big of an ego to tap into that inner core genius of thyself. So they don't. And how sad is that? How many of the world's problems could we solve if more people had a smaller ego so that more of us would be our true geniuses, which all of us are. We just don't tap into that. So stronger every day. Relate it to, I don't know, what are the big ones out there? Money, health, your time freedom, your security, your emotional health, as well as your physical health and your spiritual health and your psychological health, your bank account, the whole lifestyle, right? Your ability to connect with people and move people, all of that stuff. It's like, when I first started on my fitness journey 9 years ago, I sucked. I was pathetic. But I wasn't pathetic only because I kept showing up every day. I never gave up. I got just a little bit stronger every day. I kept showing up. I did just a little bit better, got just a little bit stronger, and it wasn't exactly linear. There were some days I fell back, but it was a 2 steps forward, 1 step backward kind of thing. But I kept showing up. I tripled my strength. I quadrupled my flexibility. I became a well-rounded fitness version of my former self. I got stronger and better in every aspect of my fitness because I did it every day in those digestible bits, and it added up and multiplied over time. It didn't just add up, it multiplied. And then, guess what? There's also, gosh, if you got your health and your wealth and a sound mind, I mean, you've got a lot going for you if you have both your health and your wealth and sound mind. So financially, I was a mess. I had no income. I mean, I didn't even have minimum wage. I had no government help. I had no food stamps. I had nothing. I mean, I had an income of 0. I was scared to death at one point of possibly becoming homeless. So what did I do? I got started on that problem. Actually, at the same time that I started on my physical and my health problem, I got started on my wealth problem too. And my freedom problem, because I didn't have any, right? So it was a problem because I didn't have any freedom. So I got to work on it. I didn't know what to do. So in the beginning, it meant I got to be on that search. The search made me a little stronger because I started learning stuff. I could start to refine my personal philosophies, my ideas, how I looked at the world, the plan of action of what I thought I knew about money and what I thought I knew about work and how work related to money and all these other things. I became teachable. I changed on the inside, which affected my decisions, which affected how I live my life. And the first of the major philosophies that I had that I needed to have was find out what most people are doing, such as the 98 percentile. Find out what they're thinking, how they spend their time, what they're doing, how they look at money, and all these things, and run the opposite direction as fast as I could. And you'll be unusually successful. So that's what I did. Did that as fast as I could, the opposite direction. And then I was unusually successful. It's awesome how that works out. So I became, not only did I improve my situation from having zero income, not even food stamps or government help. That was my starting place. I went from that to being able to call off the job search. I like the phrase fire your boss. My boss, I guess, was the economy, so I kind of fired that. I didn't have a job, so I couldn't fire a person, but I could fire that set of circumstances, and just being a slave to the dollar and shackled to the dollar, I fired the dollar. How about that? I fired the economy in a way, so I became a free human being. It took a process of 2.5 years, of which was going to pass right by anyway, followed by another 2.5 years, followed by another. So it made sense to me I might as well emerge at some point in the future, which happened to be 2.5 years from when I started to work on that problem, a free human being. So I built residual money. First I had to learn what it was and why it's like you have to have residual money. It's the only intelligent money that exists, residual and passive. Without it, you got to constantly be like that hamster on his wheel. If you stop showing up to make that money and stop recreating it, it stops coming in and you can't pay your bills, and then you have no income, like I had no income. My last job that I had was offshored to India, and so I was a victim of bad federal trade policies, and so I couldn't show up to work anymore. And what happened when I couldn't keep working, showing up, when I couldn't keep recreating the paycheck stopped coming in. Just like a hamster on his wheel stops working so hard on that wheel, it stopped spinning. Same thing with my income. And it was no fault of my own. I mean, the freaking boss sold all of our jobs to India. So it was gone. That is the dumbest. Job money is the dumbest, most insecure, most manipulative, and most controlling kind of income there is. Period. Bar none. But I didn't know that at the time. I certainly experienced it, but eventually I put 2 and 2 together and learned some things, and it drastically changed my path, my course on this planet. So I no longer work for an income anymore. I work to build passive and residual income, which took me 2.5 years of doing remembered digestible little bits, because I didn't have any, I had no free time. So I had to do these small digestible bits, but I did it every day, and it added up, and eventually it multiplied, and eventually 2.5 years is what it took in my precious minutes that I had a day, to where I called off the job search forever, and I exited that pyramid scam of working for money. I fired that from my life. The ultimate, most sinister pyramid scam ever devised against mankind is the dollar. And having a job out of a neediness to pay bills is, you're basically being controlled and manipulated through the dependency of money if you depend on your job for an income. And most self-employed people, it's the same deal. In fact, most self-employed people have less freedom than people with a job, if you can believe that, which is contrary to how all self-employed people think about it. It's like people become self-employed because they want more freedom and more options. Well, I have news for you, most of you self-employed people. You're in the same scenario, except it's even worse. If you don't show up, you don't get paid, but maybe your company goes under, so you don't get paid ever again. So you have less freedom. You have to be in a position that you occupy, that you own the asset that produces passive and residual cash. If you don't have passive and residual cash, you're working for money, whether it's self-employed or a job, it doesn't matter. It's just worse if you're self-employed. You'll also pay higher taxes too if you're self-employed working for money, just so you know. So it gets even worse. So the only path to freedom, after freedom of the mind, which is where the 98 percentile, that's where they fail, and that's why they don't create any other kinds of freedoms. The 98 percentile doesn't create freedom of the mind, so they don't create any freedom. But the 2 percentile, you can make that shift anytime you want. You have to have freedom of the mind first, and then you can learn about things like passive and residual income, and then start building that income type because it's far superior. It's not different income, it's superior income. You build that kind of income, and at some point it will be built up enough to where you emerge a free human being. And when you're free, you're also secure. Instead of this delusional security you're sold at your job, which doesn't exist. Your job is an asset that you don't own. You have zero control over it. Zero control means 100% risk. You might as well change the title of your occupation to whatever it is now to professional gambler, because you have zero control over that asset that funds your livelihood, which means you have 100% risk. Professional gambler, congratulations. But it's sold to you as security. It's a lie, it's delusional, it's done on purpose to keep you an obedient worker. It's done on purpose to keep you obedient. So don't fall for that garbage. You can learn some new things just like I did. Go out there, Google passive and residual income. Google it, do your own research. I don't want you blindly following me any more than I blindly want you following anybody that's trying to control and manipulate you through the dependency of money. Don't blindly follow anybody. But if I can plant a seed in your head that allows you to become more self-educated, more self-aware, and to ultimately change your path to a new path that's more in alignment with what you really want anyway, with something that lights your soul on fire, then I'm more than happy to plant those seeds of true self-independence. Okay. Stronger every day, little digestible bits at a time, however digestible that is for you. As long as you're doing it every day, it will add up, it will multiply, and life will be free. You will be free. I mean, life is never free, but you'll at least be able to detach how you spend your time away from money, so you have your time to do whatever you want with. That's what we're meant for as human beings, okay? If you dig this kind of stuff, you might dig my website too. It's fireyourboss.xyz, not .com.xyz. Fireyourboss.xyz. And feel free to share this if you know somebody who'd enjoy this message. If you know somebody who enjoys having their brain expanded instead of shrinking, but like new things to think about that maybe they haven't thought of before. You know somebody like that who likes to expand, feel free to share this video. And till the next one, take care everyone. Enjoy the view. I'll give you a quick panoramic. Bye for now.